Sorry, you mess up one shot, something like Stellar Eco. That doesn't change in this game. Obviously, they're Halo 5 gods, but they just still don't miss. They have such amazing shots. And we're going to kick this off with World Champion Renegade.
New Age Halo, Old Age Halo. Doesn't matter what it is. It's about the next 3 maps that are in front of you. If you want to continue onwards tomorrow, you got to simply just win them. It's not as simple as that, though, because 4 other players want to stop you in the tracks and get those under the belt themselves. Initial contact will be made across map. Couple long-distance snipes. Snipers will be transferred, but not moving much places amongst themselves with individual players on the team. Rockets, Ola, chilling around bonfire, hoping someone wants to take a run through.
He's got both weapons right now. Ola is a dangerous little wizard right now.
What combo are we going for?
Got that T2 combo.
Let's
see what he does with it.
The man whose name you should not say on a broadcast. Him who should not be named. No, I miss Tom. What a legend. T2 combo in hand, looking and actually put it to good use as well.
Surprised he's not dropping one of these for his teammates. Selfish little wizard.
I mean, to be fair, when you've got a T2 combo, you ain't going to give it up.
What? I do every time. If I get a chance, I divvy those up, help some teammates out.
Oh, go on, Ola. Find your triple. It's on runway as well.
Oh, my God.
Big boy shots coming in. That's the nice one to do it. Now you can apply the pressure and maybe get them trapped in the rocks. Finally, someone stops him in his tracks, but that's a beautiful set of events.
Back-to-back triples. So what looked like it was going to be a capture Incognito turns into Ola getting back smacked and Eco picking up 2 more members and just evening out the playing field.
Calms down for a second, and we all should take a moment to just kind of take a breather. 3 triple kills, I think. I was looking at some of the kill feeds as well. There was definitely 2 of them. Plenty of red X's, though, unfortunately, on the side of Incognito. And here comes the pressure push from Unlimited. They pick up their sniper as well, so they can pivot and hold this angle. Neptune gets one to the back, but doesn't quite fall. Unfortunately, Eco does, which is bad news bears if you want to keep him up and maybe get a run on the board here, because all of a sudden you've lost all of your teammates all around you. The last man standing, you're in the hood, you're dead. So what a turn of events, and what a way to flip-flop, to go from having 3 down the opposing side to your entire team just being wiped off the face of the planet. You now are forced back into the respawn. You've got Sniper up top. Ola is feeling it.
Yeah, he was the one that was saying he was not playing as strong earlier. He had complaints about his 18 and 12 Team Slayer game, saying he had to keep down the deaths. But I have a feeling Ola's feeling great about his shot right now from some of the things we've been watching.
Nades down in the wall. See if you can find a little sneaky personnel hiding. No one there. 2 nades don't find a target. Looking for the jump up. It doesn't come through. What does come through is a sniper, though. So hut will be lit. And you have to be very aware of that. The nades also causing havoc. One does come in. No rockets are wasted whatsoever. Pick your targets. Take your time. Doesn't actually get the suicide rocket off either. So those will be transferred into the hands of Dead Zone. And now they can take Ring 2 control. Ring 2 control's okay if you're making some kind of advancement. If your teammates out there trying to do off on the back of it, then why the hell are you there? Because it's an objective. And something like Slayer, you can just get them on the respawn, camp them in the rocks, do whatever you want with them. But if you sat here on your own and your teammates are behind you, there's no point. Push in, push forward, get up and get the job done. This is exactly what looks like is about to happen. 2 players move up, one of them does fall from shotgun. Looking for spawners over Rockside. Renegades come up, and unfortunately he's half shield. Pistola gets called out. That's an easy kill as well. Where's his 3rd and final player? He's just above runway. This will be a big kill should he get it, but Saiyan's there to shut it down.
Saiyan doing a great job, like you said, shutting that play down. That could have been devastating. Eco picked up that 3rd kill, was able to stay alive and buy some time. But it seems like anytime either of these teams start to gain a bit of ground, a bit of territory, someone just shuts them down. They pull out the most clutch play, whether that's the Eco triple kill we saw earlier to knock out Incognito, or whether that's Saiyan just going absolutely clutch and rocking Eco as he's behind enemy lines and he's behind in shots.
Stellar will abuse the jetpack now just to maybe try and find a point of entry for the rest of his teammates. If we can get some of these kills off, they can get set up, but they need to pick a side that they want to attack first. Dave, when we look at this in the moment, they've got a 2-2 split going. Over by the side of Shotgun Tunnel and the other side of Rocks. Like, you don't want to overcommit yourself and spread yourself too thin, so to speak, especially because you're not going to be entirely sure where the players are going to be spawning. And if 4 of them spawn around you, you 2, well, it's going to go in their favor. So pick your poison, listen to the IGL, and work as a team.
But we have yet to see a flagpole this entire game with how many kills and how many times we've seen triple kills. That's a bit surprising. I can't blame either team. It's not like there's been a scenario where I've said, oh, they should have pulled the flag right there. They were getting a bit too cocky and just trying to go for slays and not being objective-oriented. It hasn't been anything like that. It's just been more so there haven't been the opportunities. Every single time one team racks a few kills, it goes back in waves. And that's the most surprising part that I think I've seen from this set and also this entire tournament is teams seem to be much better of breaking out of disadvantageous situations. It used to be a scenario where as soon as 3 of the teammates go down, it's like, oh, that 4th one's going to go down pretty soon, and they're in massive trouble. But these teams seem to know how to play better off the back foot than I recall in past.
I mean, when we look at the skill sets versus the accolades that are on these rosters, and then you just kind of throw in the mix exactly what's on the line here. Tournament life, Championship Sunday, seeing it through while on main stage. Nobody's going to give up any counter caps that easy. And when I say counter caps, just because you don't want to step into someone's base and instantly die and then they're just back on your side and causing all kinds of problems. So maybe a few of them have reeled it in. Maybe they are playing a little bit more passive than what they normally would. That was a nice cheeky headshot to get the jetpack up and make something happen. Again, we're not seeing too much. There are more jetpacks so far, kills off the back of this one in this game, because it's such a Slayer-heavy series we've got going like that. Just
more jetpack kills that we get to see, but we also didn't get any Boo Boo Doo series. If we said Boo Boo Doo series, like that would be totally different.
I just feel like we're all flying around when we're watching him, to be fair. Sits there with that thing and does the damage, and to be fair, he's sat in winner's bracket, so why the hell not? Challenge of the lifetime, though, when he has to go up against Sentinels next. That'll be a fun series to watch, but it's about this one now. Jetpack finally taken down, 3 players eliminated from Incognito. Last man standing, Renegade, to keep them at bay, hold them back, be a nuisance, be a pain in the backside. Wasting a rocket to take him down, I'm okay with that. He's done his job. They've been allowed to spawn, they've been allowed to come back and get into a decent position. They're not necessarily trapped. Yes, they're over by Sniper Hut. Yes, they're lingering around Bonfire. But it's not like they've been pinned back in the rock, so you can take the hood and just crush them on the assault, take the flag, and then move them as they traverse and follow you through. Snipes on the carbine side here. Looking to kind of put its mark on, only 1 bullet left, so not too much damage can be done. But I mean, 1 headshot can turn the tide of a game if needed. Kind of behind the bricks.
Normally it can, but neither of these teams seem to be able to capitalize after they get any form of a lead. So I just don't know how to fully break this down or to fully be able to comprehend why these teams are so good on the defense, or it's just got to be absolutely even in slays. I bet if we were able to look at the stats right now, we would see pretty even numbers across the board.
I feel like they're scared, Dave. I feel like nobody wants to be the one who's responsible for sending their entire team home. But at some point, you have to bite the bullet and say, well,
they're making the right pushes. We see plenty of pushes over towards Snipe Hut, which is a great push to do when your team has control of ring, and that's a strong power position to hold on the opposing side's base. So we do see plenty of pushes in that direction. We just don't see it actually translate into anything. We don't see it go into control of the flag, into a pull, into a rock run. It just stops there at Snipe Hut.
Hiding back on the wall, she cut side. Individual player's been a bit of a nuisance. He's still alive as well. No one knows where he is, and that's why Dead Zone just kind of so fixated on this Rocket side. Speaking of Rockets, they have dropped on the 10, 21-10. They will go in the favor of blue team, Incognito. But again, is there any actual position you can put them in and put them to good use? I like this. Get an advancement and move out. Check the rocks for now. Ola's gone low. This could be a really good time to get a pull. If Trippy goes down, he gets called out, Rocket comes through, he's dead. Moving on to the second one. All Ola needs to do is stay alive, and his teammates do the work. Let them go through the cleanup and mop up these bodies, which they're doing perfectly. Where are those Rockets? They haven't shown their faces yet. Here comes the push. The pressure is now being applied.
Trippy flank ends up putting a stop to this run. I mean, even if Neptune gets this kill on Trippy, his goal right now is just to stay alive and buy as much time as possible for his teammates. And that's going to be pretty difficult when you have Trippy in front of you with Rockets.
Oh my lord, and he gets the kill as well. What a fantastic play. Heads up play there to be able to not only shut that down, but to get his teammates off the respawn and back into a defensive position. That is a beautiful flank and one that if he hadn't have done, without question, we could probably say that would have been a pull. Whether or not been a cap, we don't know, but the pull was a reality. Main ramp at the moment. Several players learning rock side. Sayan comes around the corner, so he knows where the information is, but he does have a teammate who can help him out from behind, which should be a kill transferred. You can see where they're spawning on rocks that are going to come back. Give him the level of support that he needs, but S3 instantly trying to do some work from up there, get an overview on the map, push back down.
Yeah, both these teams doing such a good job flushing anyone that gets into their base. And one thing that they have been doing, anytime someone does slip by over on Rockside, is they've been controlling their snipe hut. Like I said, snipe hut is such a powerful position to hold on your base. You can just have this overarching view of anyone going through rocks or from the base and stop any extra reinforcements as easily coming from ringside. And so I feel like both these teams have been doing such a great job on snipe hut side. Here we go with Ola with one of the best runs we've seen thus far from Incognito, and Renegade somehow dodging those grenades and getting this all in the rocks. We can see the very first cap of the game being 11 minutes deep.
Neptune's there to get the recovery as well. Should he die, he can just pass it along. Neptune, look this way, buddy, because your teammate's got no shields. Jeez. Oh, it's messy at the end, but they made it work regardless.
Here's what happens to me, Sims. If I ever bobble a flag run and I just mess up one little fast of that, I get picked off guaranteed. Renegade, he has one red bar. He goes a little too far, misses it, bobbles back and forth, still caps it, and still stays alive. I mean, at some point, I don't know whether to believe in like fate or luck or something like that, but yeah, those sort of situations didn't really pan out for me is all I'm trying to say.
Gets it in the back with the sniper and just becomes no shield, and all the grenades just hit him like... Lucky, lucky man. Necessarily too lucky for the blue side now as the sniper rifle's there. Flag's being moved, it's a bit aggressive, but hey, whatever works at this moment, right? You need to get one back on the board, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Remember, you can't recover this one, so 15 seconds untouched. We return to your base. The unfortunate thing and side effect of that is that other people can just throw their bodies at it. They can just dogpile in. Reset that thing and keep on going. Double kill comes out, looking for trips. It's there. It's just below the turret. One more player's on Bond, so he needs to deal with that first, and that's okay. I'm fine, not getting overly aggressive here. Just make sure you don't shoot your player in the back. That he'll deal with that situation first. Look at this player, unfortunate health scenario. So one shields are gone. He's dead, bodied by the sniper. Stellar says no, shuts that one down, takes ring 2 control for now.
And Stellar, I liked how he was pushing over to try to help take over Snipe Hut, but meets a bullet to the head from his former teammate Renegade, and this is not boding well here for the Unlimited roster. All Incognito has to do is play the game the same way they did for the first 11 minutes. Just get a bunch of slays, trade kills, get a triple kill if you have to if you're Renegade. Jesus.
Try and find some more as well. The one there, he actually tags him up. The full exterm didn't come through, but it's definitely done some damage. Now we can throw grenades on because we'll know where they're spawning. Stella's the first one to fall as well. Ola's there behind them. The run can be real. As long as we don't fumble this one, this should be decent. Trip it again. Gets the shutdown. Ola hanging back.
I like that play. I like that play from Ola. Ola could have gone for that flag run, died, and gave up more control. Instead, he detours back towards Unlimited's base and at least gets a trade kill on Stellar. One of the ways that Incognito could lose this game is by desperating this flag a little too hard, giving up too much control, and setting up a counter cap.
Wizard is doing his things. The cloak of invisibility has been donned, and somehow he's managed to stay alive. Kind of see from Eco's position, I know he's looking rock side, but he's in his own base. Having the sniper back here kind of shows you how little room they have to play with at this specific time. Speaking of time, there's not much time for these boys when you're getting bullets in the head like that. How the hell are you supposed to move when you are locked down by a team that's been so aggressive and playing so good? To be fair, both of these rosters are pretty evenly matched. But that one flag could literally make all the difference in 30 seconds time.
It really is going to. I mean, we have to see Unlimited get extremely aggressive right now and secure a bunch of kills. If any of these members up front, like Dead Zone or Stellar, die right now, they're in massive trouble. Their Stellar goes down, their Dead Zone goes down, and I think this flag in this game is dead in the water.
Yep, 10 seconds remaining, it's go time. Get the rockets and get stuck in Trippy. There's no time like the present. You have to move like the wind. You have 5 seconds to get a touch, otherwise that's all she wrote. The double's there. But unfortunately, nobody is within reaching distance. Incognito by the skin of their teeth. It's a single cap game. And that right there kind of spells for us exactly how this series should be going down. Evenly matched players, evenly matched rosters. We'll take a look at the kills and we'll see if it was evenly matched when it comes to the slaying prowess. Did I just see a negative 23?
I don't think so. Oh my God, you did. Z-Zone had a
Penguin.
rough one.
What in the world is that?
So that one is incredibly rough. What was the totals I saw right there then? It looked like it was about 18 or 16 differential in slays, looks like.
I mean, I can understand
16,
why.
but that's taking the Penguin factor into account, having a very rough game there. A really rough game.
Yeah, that's not even a point where you can say, I've done bad because I'm playing full-blown objective. Like, you didn't even get the objective,
no.
Unfortunately. Did they even get it past half of the map?
No, we didn't see them get close at all. I mean, Penguins averaging less than 1 kill a minute there in that situation, but you just gotta keep in mind, Incognito doing a great job, like rolling around together. So it's really tough to say how that came about. Maybe this map and this style didn't play to Z-Zone's strengths, or you can just call it out and say he had a terrible game, just was not doing what he needed to do, not hitting the shots he needed to hit. But sometimes those stats can be misleading, but sometimes when they're skewed that far in a direction, you just got to call it out a not so stellar performance.
Once we get to that negative 20 range, we call it pulling a golden boy. When you get into those kind of ratios, afterwards, we'll kind of discuss further casters when we get down the line, but for now, we'll just say that one was a golden boy ratio. Rather unfortunate, but things happen. You have to look forward and reset your mindset, David, and now moving into a Slayer matchup, it will be Countdown where we find our footing for game number 2. You cannot be pulling negative ratios that size, even double digits when we're moving into a Slayer. It's even more important. The game's underway, Dave. Talk me through it. Where are we going to go? What are we going to see?
We're going to start off with Z-Zone because this is the player we saw struggling in the previous game and starts it off with no fear. Decides to be aggressive right off the get-go and get a near flank over on blue 2 and help him secure these rockets. We're going to see what Z-Zone does to help finish up this power weapon secure.
Less than 20 seconds and with already 8 kills on the board like this. Talk about quick reactions from both of these rosters. And maybe that's how this one's going to play out. Maybe this is just going to be a complete mad dash for both of these rosters to get stuck in. Trippy a little bit fixated, but he does have his teammate for support, which is pretty good. Stops Ola getting the rockets and also denies them a kill as well. Outside, we will head with these. Take the noob tube and see what we can do with it. He can see the bullets, so he knows where one of the players is lingering. Just watching the back ramp for now. It's okay because he can just hit that step, and that's why he's fixated on there, regardless of where the player will be. The splash damage should
just deciding to slow it down. I don't think that Unlimited knows exactly where the sniper is at the moment, and on the flip side, I don't think Incognito knows where these rockets are. So both these teams kind of taking it slow, trying to poke and prod, find out as much information they can for free without having to give up a kill to get that valuable info. And this slowed down drastically. You talked about how there was 8 or 9 kills within the first 15 or 20 seconds of the game, Sims. After that, slowed down. These teams, like you said, don't want to make those mistakes.
It's panic stations, and I think it's also quite good what Trippy's doing. He's sweeping and clearing. Oh, he has cop for him. Finally, rockets do the job. Transfers one over, and now the door's been opened. Maybe more want to make an advancement, and clearly that's some kind of information that somebody may have been cut off from the rest of the pack, which gives them an easy kill, and that's who they were looking for first. Trippy don't want to waste these, and for good reason. When you have a scoreline, Dave, as fragile as this, that's potentially 2 kills, maybe even more if he gets anyone else weak besides that.
Plus, he can use that he can use the rockets to acquire camo. He can use that combo to eventually help get control of that sniper. That can have a domino effect on so many different weapons if played smart.
Camo's up, but unfortunately he's looking the wrong way. Coming off the back ramps, he does drop. Ola's here. Dead zone's there too. Easy camo grab, smash and run. It's a little bit late off the bat, but it doesn't really matter when you're not only securing it, but you're picking up a kill as well. Grabs the frag and looks towards the vents. The trade-off in front of him is wandering through and just kind of checking all these individual corners.
So he has to know somebody is up high, but that's a bit surprising. It's not, and Ola's going to get some, don't want to say free rockets. That was a very difficult shot to hit. Trying to help out his teammate a little bit too much, though. We just talked about that with Ola earlier, saying, one of my problems, one of the biggest flaws he has in his game is he tries to help too much. And he thought he had that moment in time, he could do a little bait and switch while he's focused on his teammate and hopefully rocket and get that kill in blue too. But ultimately pays with his life. And using that life isn't the end of the world, but the fact they had camo, that could have gone even a little bit further.
And rockets, it's, I think that was the one thing.
The rockets can get picked up by a teammate, but the camo is something that cannot be replaced.
I think it's still something good to point out before that, to be able to take 2 down while doing so, win his individual battles, get 2 points on the board, but then secure both camo and rockets. To just wander around the map freely like that, when stuff's being left unchecked, it kind of speaks a bigger volume. Like, in what world can he just run over to rockets and pick them up without anybody shooting him? I know he died afterwards shortly, but he wasn't met with any kind of challenge or resistance to be allowed those.
He scanned a lot of the difficult areas where he was going to meet resistance. He looked over at red radio. He went all the way from red street. He saw one of his teammates in a different side over towards blue side. So just by process of elimination, he knew where players could or couldn't be and decided now was the time to go grab those rockets and get out.
Bit of a cheeky sniper player there to put the nade down and bounce it towards him. Did die instantly, but I respect it regardless. All of a sudden, it's Unlimited that find themselves in the driving seat here. I saw a stick before the death screen go off. Keeps them.
I like that second setup from Eco, as he just assumes the next person that's coming out is jumping around the corner versus allowing them just to walk around. These players are going to react based on the information they're given. So he saw, last time someone walks around the corner and gets sniped, next person is just going to walk around at head level. So Eco's already pre-reading into that situation.
What is concerning is how much they just fed Incognito points there. That was 4 within a matter of seconds. That all came off from the back of outside. Wandering in there, having the sniper homing them down. I saw a double, an assistance, and an easy shot as well. So 4 kills just like that. Flips the game on its head. Sniper's in its usual position that we would expect it to be within. From this angle, he can watch low door, mid door, catwalk, street, hell, rocket sniper if you want to look over, and more importantly, outside. This angle here is...
Can also watch his own lift. I think that's always understated. You think of this sniper player getting distracted in one way, shape, or form, and if someone lifts on up, just goes in for the shot melee.
Dude, I love how you touch on that, because audible cues in this game are so underrated. The amount of times you'll just be listening, you'll hear the lift engage, like, okay, well, I'll just focus fire in that, or I'll just pre-nade it. So not only just watching, whoa, preemptive pre-scope, that would have been sick if it landed. At least connects with the beat down, sniper comes across. Bottom vents, bottom mid. Keeping an eye on those rocket spawns. Does pay dividends, Eco goes down, hits the deck. Says not today, my friend. But still, this 4 kill, make it 5 deficit is following them around. Can't seem to just break it. Since this has formed at around the 30-point mark, it's been following like a bad smell, unfortunately.
Did those rockets get scooped up over at red door? I have yet to see those back in action yet.
They're on the... I think we just copped from on the floor. I think where they are on those dead bodies, I believe they're still there. Which is probably why if they're not on the side of the red team, everyone's staying up high. This isn't good.
Flank of the century.
1, 2, 3. They're all dead. They're all falling simultaneously. This has gone from bad to worse here. This is... It's falling apart for Incognito.
And you really have no room for error here at the end of a team slayer. I mean, you now see Unlimited has camo. They have a 6-kill lead. Even if you go in and get the most ideal of trades, you can't expect to just go 4 for nothing against a squad like Unlimited.
Well, just like that, we hunt it down kill for kill, body for body, 50 to 41. That's a little bit better. That's like the level of play we want to see from these individuals. Seeing Dead Zone going positive this time round. No one on the side of Red Team going negative whatsoever. Good response, good return. A few people might tilt, a few people might have individual arguments, individual turmoil amongst the teammates. You're going to be upset when your teammates drop in a negative 23 any given day of the week.
But turned it right back around. Still kept that aggressive nature that I'm sure his teammates are used to, whether it's at the start of the game or during the chaotic situations. And then when it matters most, when kills and deaths matters most, went positive during the team player game. So can't blame him too much. All's forgotten.
Speaking about chaotic, we're going into a very chaotic map. We're going into King of the Hill, I believe it is, on Nexus. And this could play out either way. We saw earlier on what Incognito did when they went up against the Sentinels, arguably the best team in the world, one of the best Halo players in the world for sure. We've seen it twice now where it's all come down to those final moments, that final last minute. This was interesting with a scenario like that. Yes, you can say it's an absolutely perfect flank, but having no one watching the other side is easier said than done.
Said and done, and they also felt like they were pushing out and committing towards that camo side. I mean, it's just that you don't want someone just to sit back and watch your backs. In fact, especially when there's action going outside, you can get those double/triple teams. So I agree with the players looking that direction. I think it's a combination of the right place at the right time and doing the perfect flank.
So the one thing we are guaranteed, at least, is the game number 4. See where this one sits and we'll see how it does, because rolling into it, momentum might play a factor. It certainly hasn't this time around, but then again, game number 1, to be fair, regardless of the neg 23 and regardless of everything else that happened with it, it was still a very evenly fair match, you know, all the way down to the 15-minute mark, and only 1 flag cap in. I think that speaks bigger volumes than anything we can say whatsoever.
Neptune wasn't seemingly able to get his groove during the last game, going, I believe it was -5 during that team slayer, so let's see how he kicks this one off and see if he can get control of that sniper off the bat.
Heads down,
Answers
guns up. The sniper's in play now, so we'll see it on the side of Unlimited. Looking towards the closet spawn, see if anyone is going to be wandering out there, because it is the red side, of course. You can get the flip spawn here. You're not going to be spawning in your base, it's just going to be wherever the opposing team isn't, sort of a better word. Neptune gets away lightly, does get a tag on the side of the shoulder. That's the second time, however, the assistance medal will come in. You want to see, make sure the bullets are not wasted whatsoever. 2 of them inside the hill, and you spoke about this 2-player scenario, being able to dogpile and keep control of it, Dave.
Yep, and that looks like it was a red closet spawn if I've ever seen one.
You see the bullets instantly just getting tagged and wandered round. Good preemptive nade at least, though, so you could track where he was. Assistance again, fights going on opposing side of the map, so at least the bullets are finding the targets and doing the job. Trade-offs, he needs a platform. That'd have been phenomenal had he hit him in the head. I don't know if it's just reach or what, but like the quick scoping in this game just feels, it sounds, I don't mean to be disrespectful, it feels easy. Like when you're watching
these players do make it look easy, and I think you know, maybe compared to some other Halos, it would definitely be considered easier. But yeah, I don't know, these players hit so consistently, it's just mind-boggling. So I don't know what that's exactly due to, whether you consider it movement speed, whether you consider it like the size of the actual projectile of the sniper bullet when you have it unzoomed, that's maybe a bit more lenient than you'd see in past or other Halos, or maybe it's just the instant hit scan nature of the weapon and how fast it's going across the map versus, you know, other snipes at times where you have to like lead a little bit. A lot of those factors combined, I think, contribute to us seeing so many of these compelling no scopes.
Either way, it looks damn good. More flashy players, that's what all the people want to see. Flashy gunplay, flashy gameplay, to be fair, as a whole. Trippy, the aggressive stance onto the hill, but 2 players will be coming off the respawn on the side of red, which doesn't bode too well. Dead Zone picks up the double, and now there's only 1 player remaining on the side of blue, so they can milk some time here and potentially even get set up with this grenade launcher. If his teammates are watching underpass and around green area, he can just bombard that wall corner and basically defend it himself. That weapon will hold point and stand its own ground. And the test of time, however,
was a bit surprising. We saw Unlimited in such a strong position there. They had everyone alive, they had Stellar on the flank, they had the weapons, and that setup got broken quickly. I mean, Stellar got taken out and the hill got taken out, one right after the other. And after those 2 pieces fell, the rest of the setup at red fell. So I'm actually pretty impressed with the Incognito to break that setup so quickly and just rack up time of their own.
Tie the leader, gain the lead.
Incognito putting some time on the board here. Be able to keep control of this one. Probably run it down until the hill does switch over. It looks like red team are setting up for the next movement. Really for the last, I suppose that there is a point where you have to kind of weigh up your options here. With there only being 20 seconds left on this one, how much do you commit to this? Because you know that it's going to be moving shortly. Do you want to throw bodies in it? Is there any point of going to a respawn screen for the sake of getting maybe 10 to 15 seconds?
I think you don't give the time for free, but you have to be calculated in how you challenge it. You can still poke out of top gold and challenge a fight and back down and stay alive versus having to forcefully charge out of that gold door and give your life up. So I don't think by any means you ever give that up for free, but you don't contest it as hardly as you would before. You don't make it as a commitment that you have to take over red base or nothing. You say you can poke out of gold and green and do some damage and back away and still be content with taking over blue or holding those two top positions. I think the parts where you get in trouble is when you get in that mindset that you have to take control of that full base, and that usually involves running across the open area, you know, over by either the hill plat or from bottom green over towards closet, and that's where you really get in trouble.
Green's going to be on lockdown and not too much you can do there. When Sniper's looking from the window, again, we've touched on this multiple times on this map, and we will continue to do so. Having Sniper inside the window opens up an endless amount of possibilities. It can drive the game inadvertently by keeping the players at bay and keeping it in the mindset that somebody is just overwatching this entire thing and tracking your movements to potentially end you at any given second. Nades down, guns up. Stellar comes in and accepts the challenge. That's absolutely fine. Running with a green gun, try and take the shields off and then go for the individual kill, but it doesn't quite happen this time round. Eco moving into the window, looking towards where the hill will be moving soon. They can milk the time here for now.
Quite a bit of time, actually. I mean, this can't be understated about getting those 10 or so points in what we consider the scrappier, difficult hill. This is also going to force Incognito to evaluate how they're going to push this. Are they going to push over towards green, try to do some damage? Are they going to say, all right, we can give up this time to Trippy and give this time up to Unlimited as long as we push it over towards blue? But it's putting Incognito in such a difficult position because this game, you usually don't see those 20 or 30 point swings until it's the side hills, and this game has gotten within 10 points.
Set this red hill and get some good time in it for now. We talked about what the grenade launcher can do in this kind of earliest position. You're going to spam those nades, give it a couple of seconds, wait until if someone wants a challenge, turn it around again, launch another one down. Acts as if it's kind of a landmine. You don't want to use it so you can hold the trigger in and wait until they walk over it, then to let it go. There is that option. But it's more better just to kind of abuse the bullets and waste them and just keep throwing them in to keep people held back. Sniper comes around the corner, tries to get involved, but really from that angle there's not a great deal you can do. Still hunting down of this final bullet in play. Tags him up. He's going to be weak, so you get the headshot with the DMR and convert that empty grenade launcher into a nice cheeky sniper rifle. Would be a good upgrade should he be able to find the player. He's lost track of him. That's dangerous. Where is it? Well, he's shown his face over in the hill.
And that's dangerous too, because during that time, as Stellar's trying to hunt down where that sniper player is, he's out of the fight. And that sniper player is now entered in. It's essentially a 4-on-3 over at blue base, with Stellar just trying to catch up to the battle.
Two of them off the re and going straight for the hillside. They're going to try and get in across around the base and then move back and maybe interject themselves into this fight. But Saiyan says no. That's a nice triple. That locks it down. 117. It might be an iconic number in Halo, but it's not an iconic number for Incognito at this moment in time. They are down. They need to get above that number. It's not that far off, and there's still tons and tons of time, and we've already seen what Incognito can do. Even with 60 seconds, they can quite literally win games.
And look at that breakthrough. You were saying before, should a team try to push in towards this hill when there's only 20 or so points left in it? There's your answer right there, Unlimited. You know, it's more like 25 or 30 seconds left in this hill, but they were able to successfully push through. This could have very well been a tied game if they had somehow tried to give up that hill. And also, there's really no reason not to try to contest that hill. The scrappy hill, as we said before, is much more difficult to actually acquire a ton of time. So might as well try to stop the good time when you can.
This is going to a game 5. I can feel it. I can feel it. I've got no issues with it. I know we're all a bit tired and a bit exhausted, but I have honestly no problems with it whatsoever. We all love a good Game 5, and it would be no better way than an elimination match. Kind of set the tone for what's going to happen tomorrow on Championship Sunday. Still a fragile lead on the side of the red team, 34 points in front. Everything to play for. Anything can change at any given moment. Wasted a few bullets on that sniper. Clearly was thinking that there was going to be a very proactive push onto him. He was panicking a little bit.
I actually was kind of laughing about that a bit just because he like started wasting bullets and he looks over in closet and sees his teammates like, oh man, I didn't really
he didn't trust him. It was trust issues, Dave. That's what it was. Like, nah, I just don't feel it. They're going to kill you and then they're going to kill me as well. So we'll get rid of this and make life a bit easier later on down the line. There's been a few moments where you've seen a couple of players miss, I want to say, opportunities to take down other ones from across the map when they've just either not had the communication or just not looked their way.
Can we highlight how much time Unlimited has been able to acquire as we go into these scrappy hills? I mean, if I had to just estimate just off of what I've watched, I would say they have gained 30-ish seconds over Incognito when it comes to the scrappy hill times.
Okay.
And if you try to break that down and the rest of the game being even, that's the difference in the score right now. I mean, it's only a 37-point difference. And if you're considering both the other side hills as being around even, obviously I'm making quite a few assumptions here with my math and just trying to ballpark what they've gained so far. But I think this game is being won in the scrappy hills by Unlimited thus far.
Hill controlled.
Saying that, and this is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, right? You say that and how they've managed to scrape up time and scrap some time together. Incognito literally put all 4 members Unlimited down and maybe only picked up about 5 seconds time. There was just nothing made of it. They had 2 players over there that instantly got attacked from players off the spawn because they didn't have the full setup. They didn't have the lockdown control. Honestly, they didn't just make the full use of it, but then again, it's only a 27-point game. Like, you can't take anything away from this. It's still...
No, I mean, you got this massive side hill on red, and then you're also going to have that last minute on blue, which we've seen be the game decider in 2 different series thus far. Far from over, but I think we'll have a better assessment here in about a minute and 10 seconds as to who's really in the lead. And then also going into the 3-minute mark, you gotta say Unlimited's been winning the scrappy hills. I expect them to pull further ahead once we go from the 3-minute to the 1-minute mark. So let's see if that prediction holds true based on what we've seen so far.
Contact from green. Renegade finally goes down. So that's the bottom mid push broken in 2. Players unfortunately getting a bit overzealous and throwing themselves into this position. That's 3 of them back to back to back. Yes, there is a response, but instantly they're just dying individually. There's no real team shot here. There's no cohesion on the side of blue. Unlimited is just taking full advantage of that. They found the weakness, the crack in the armor, the crack in his visor, to be fair. That's going to do some damage. Easy double to pick up on the clean. Knocks another nade down. That's how you want to see them use. Bank them off the wall, be preemptive, take the sniper and rotate. And that right there, the last minute, may have sealed the fate. Anything can happen in this, but that was really bad news for Incognito. To lose so many players like that simultaneously and then lose power weapon control.
Yep, down by 64 points going into the scrappy hill, which Unlimited has won historically through the last few times. We're going to have to see if Incognito can somehow switch it up, get a few slays, and actually scrap up some time, because they can't resort to just getting all their time in that final hill. It's mathematically impossible.
Second one falls, 3rd one comes in and shuts him down finally. Closet spawn, Neptune's there. I see a double. He sees a triple potentially. Nades up. Sniper down low, looking for this one player that may have got away with his life. Wants to try and shut him down and say, nope. You are my target, you will be finished off. He does pick up one, whether that's him or not, I do not know, but who cares? It's still an individual. Nades over, trying to find some kind of push coming for that top middle hill. We've still got 60 seconds up there. That's plenty of time for one of these teams. We've only got 2 minutes left in the game. If Unlimited want to win this, they could. They just need full control of it. But I tell you what, it's Incognito that's scrapping up the time. This could be the game changer. This could be the one that seals the fate and maybe turns the tides in their favor.
Yeah, I believe as we entered to this to this top middle hill, Unlimited was up by about 64 points. So that has been crushed down to about 50 points now, making it much easier on this final hill, but still a tall feat to be able to scrap up a little bit more time and then also hold blue and hold it almost the entire time.
Yeah, there'll come a point eventually where they just hold that for about another 20 seconds and it's job done. They're about a minute of hill time in front, and we're moving into a minute of player left. So next 10, 15 seconds we'll be at that mark, and you'll probably see the players just give up because they know it's over and done with, but we have to run it down regardless, so it doesn't matter. 1 minute remaining, and yeah, I think that's going to be all she wrote. However, we'll still say there is a double there, and we'll just still keep on going in case I'm completely and utterly wrong.
Nope, that is GG.
That is indeed GG. So, Unlimited actually go up in the series. Okay. This is going to go game 5, Dev.
It's got to at this point. I mean, I would be actually disappointed if it somehow ended here on game number 4.
30 seconds.
And I think this ruins all of our predictions. Am I right?
Yep.
I mean, none of us predicted a game. Did
Oh,
we
you're
predict
in.
a game 5?
Apparently my mic is here.
You having fun? Oh, they've muted him now. Turn him back on. We've got 10 seconds. Turn him back on. There you go. You're back joining us again.
No, it's like, it's so weird because sometimes my mic is on, sometimes it's not. So I got
10 seconds.
What the?
They're just BMing you now.
I'm being trolled by production.
I'm a big fan of
I'm
TriCasts.
not supposed to be here anyway. So.
I'm a big... you know what? Actually, leave his mic on. We'll do a TriCast and we'll have some fun. We can play around with this one. You can join in with us. There's 3 of us on desk. Why don't we do it? Tash is probably in the back shaking his head like, don't do this. Don't do this. Well, they muted you again. No, they don't want you involved. That's cruel. Either way, yeah, good game, good response. It's always a little bit of a lackluster at the end there when we have to end those games like we do, but it's just one of those things. If you've won the game, you've won it. It's simple as that. We have to run the clock down. It's the administrative rules. You need to make sure everyone's present, correct, and the game is yours, 110%. Now we look on the side of, Incognito. What have they got left in the tank? They've been performing all weekend long, Dave, so far for the last 2 days. They need to dig deep. They need to pull this one out if they want to make it to tomorrow. They lose this one. Unfortunately, that's the end of the road. We don't see little Ola here again, chilling with us for a bit more time. Anything's possible. I don't know.
That'd be a massive surprise because as we saw them stepping it up earlier today, we both predicted, we said, this could actually be a roster that could make it all the way back to the grand finals. However, this run could be cut short. I mean, this would land them in what, 5th/6th?
Potential. There is potential. I don't know. I just don't know where this one lands at all. It's so evenly matched.
Yeah, this would, loser of this match takes 5th/6th.
Rock and roll. Series layout on your screens. It doesn't tell the full story. It's not a full telling sign. You can see how close it was to begin with when we started off. Incognito taking this 1-0. 50-41, 207, 246. We're moving to game number 4, map 4. Could this be all she wrote for Pistola and his 3 wizardly gentlemen? Or will we see them on Championship Sunday? Will they take this to a game number 5? It would be the first one we've seen, I believe, on main stage. And what a game 5 it would be to round out Saturday, moving into Championship Sunday, sending one of these 2 teams home in incredible fashion. We move into flag. 5 flag will be the score on the door, but who's going to be picking this one up? Grenade launcher, sniper rifle, both power weapons in play. Instantly, quite a passive start off the bat. No one really wants to give this one up. Ola holds and hangs back and holds fire for a second. At least gets the double, but it's not without some kind of answer.
Here's a typical Renegade flank. I think that's one thing I was always impressed with Renegade in Halo 5 is he always found a way behind enemy lines, always taking a tricky route to get behind and get a back smack. And look at that. How does he even predict that he's going to do that front crazy jump like that? Was he hearing him?
I don't know.
Was that a spring jump is what I'm seeing from Shyway?
Oh,
Shyway's saying that was a spring jump.
Oh, okay.
And he's ecstatic. He's excited as me as seeing, insta-splodes in Halo 3 or something like that.
You do love your insta-splodes.
I do so much.
I know. It's as if you invented them, but who knows. Time is of the essence, Dave, and time is of all of us. Sniper rifle window. What have we got? What can we see? Where's the information? How many players can he feed this one back? He does have his teammates to play around the back of. There's one. Finds the face, job done. Welcome to the party. Misses both of the no-scopes, picks up the sniper, says, you know what? This is my drop down. This is my area, my landing for now. They can take control of gold and they can look onwards. Flag still a...
Jeez.
All right, that's a banging shot.
Just realized how thirsty he was for that challenge, and Dead Zone not letting up, not taking any of the other baits and shooting anyone else. Instead, just realizing Renegade's going to hop out any moment, and you need to shut him down any opportunity you get.
Well, they're all dead, and he's still running the flag. That's quite impressive.
Actually,
his teammates out there, I'm surprised.
It's hard to say because at some point, part of Run the Flag is outrunning any of the threats that might be coming over from the opposite landing. So if he was outrunning threats from the opposite landing, and getting that further and further, you can't really blame him for it. But anytime you're exposing yourself a bit too much, you know, you lose a lot of team members. You need to slow it down. You get slayed. So it's really tough to tell what the situation was there. Clearly, it's easy for us to analyze it after he died and say, oh, they had an angle over on landing, so it was the wrong play. But we don't know if they had both different angles. They could have had someone over towards blue landing chasing from behind, also someone top center, so he could have been dead either way.
One player taking out the street, which opens that up a little bit more, I want to say. At least try and make something happen. Pistolo's still tracking people. This flag's still moving, and that's his next point of interest. Looking towards the landing, and he is stopped in his tracks. Both of these players, Stellar and Pistolo, are following each other quite some time. Turns around, nades down. That's absolutely beautiful. The second player there, but the job is done. Where's the third? Trippy's here for the party. That's the double and the single. That should be a cap. There's two players there. One round the back of the landing. He's dead as well. And that's going to be 1 point on the scoreboard. So we have the opener. We have the signs and the start of what could be a game number 5.
You love to see it, and I love that patience we saw from Ola as he got that flag back, just tossing it, laying down some shots, and that was such a team effort too. By no means was that easy. If Neptune didn't somehow clutch that kill, that now would have been a double team scenario over on the blue landing versus just a one-on-one. And look at Unlimited just getting picked off the spawns over and over again. I don't see exactly where the flag's at, but I'd be surprised if that flag does not go in based on the amount of slays that we're seeing.
That's so
Was that a last
cruel.
second stop on the street?
What?
A flag recovery. Someone slipped on behind. It looks like Trippy, during that whole chaotic situation, somehow slipped on over towards the base and got the kill and got the recovery to bring it still to a 1-flag game.
He did this in Countdown, right? That was him that went on the full flank on those players in the hallway.
I think you're correct.
Sneaky Trippy stops the bleeding for now. Eco puts down, wow, that's a preemptive grenade. He just lands on top of it. Eviscerates him from the face of the planet. Will put more down ring 1, hoping there is more downstairs. Defend the flag and at least stop it for any kind of advancement or recuperation from the opposing forces, but they do get the return. Scopes all the way on the opposing side of gold to see if he can catch them coming out of the baseline, and this is now where you would look for a teammate to run towards you if they can put someone in that position, but there are bodies they have to deal with first. Those kind of shots right there, the ones that you need to be hitting. At least gets the body on the second player that does step up for the challenge, but you do have no shields. The preemptive shots are there. It's aggressive. It's a stance. He's down ring 1. He almost gets away with it. It is whether or not they can convince themselves to just commit to this one. The list there. The landing will be there with the flag any second. Where's the rest of his teammates?
I'm actually surprised that he went up with the landing with the flag too, rather than just, you know, possibly tossing it up and then going on over towards red or getting some form of a flank. I mean, right there you're setting up a counter cap in that situation if you don't have the slays. Generally, if your team is down in numbers, you want to bring flag to a different direction and split attention so you can get to a stalemate scenario. However, your team's up in numbers, you want to get the flags as close as possible.
Plenty of them all down low at the moment, and this is where the main scrappy fights will be continuing. Incognito down players and down forces, so they just need to wait to get themselves off the respawn. Once they do this, they look forward and say, okay, what's the next challenge? Where do we go? Which way do we take this one? They're in the driving seat at the moment, but it is ever so fragile. When there's still all this time left, 14 minutes to play. It's going to be kind of the same scenario as Sank earlier on, to be fair. I know it's an ever so slightly different scenario, but
Well, we've seen a bit more scrappy attempts at flags, which make more sense here on Zealot because there's not situations where you give up as much full control or you don't have to go through so many rounds of slays to get to the opposing base. You can play a bit more scrappy. You can get a flank, generally an individual flank on this map where you can get a kill and toss the flag out. So you're going to see more flag attempts in general compared to Sank. I mean, this map can only slow down so much. You put everyone in such a close quarters environment, there's going to be a lot of fights that transpire.
Nade launcher does a bit of damage. Dead zone down instantly. Gold is now open for the run. That's maybe potentially the way that it'll actually go. Up the spiral we go, and down he goes with a back whack as well. Turns and faces and looks for any challenge that want to come from behind him, and I'm pretty glad he did as well. He supports his teammate, gets a kill. Second player there, that's absolutely huge. That's prolific in the bigger sign of things because Trippy can run this one. Had he not have done that and dropped that,
also turned into a double cap.
That's impressive. What a time to turn around and actually just leave it for your teammates. And tell you what, I'll go bodyguard. I'll be the bouncer of this flag and you come and collect it. I like that communication. You only get that level when you're on board and you're on point with one another. The comms have to be there. If you're going to drop the flag and wait for your teammates to get it, you've only got 15 seconds to pick it up. If he's moving forward and overextending to go for kills, his teammate has to be there to deliver every single time.
Absolutely, and I think it's not as big of a problem worrying if your teammate's going to pick it up over those 15 seconds. It's how fast can you continue that flag run and keep it seamless as possible, because teams, as they're going for a flag stop, can tell when that flag is stopped for a period of time and that they can take a longer route to flank or go on a safer route to try to punish that. However, teams also go in full panic mode as they see that flag going nonstop and they see it go from blue landing to gold to red landing uninterrupted. They go in straight panic mode and they start to beeline it as they go towards the opposing base and go in more predictable routes and more punishing routes.
Benj kills there, and he sees one player just flying through the air on the lifts. Eco's dead. Not getting away with that one by any means whatsoever. Another one comes up. No scope at least does the damage. His teammate can't fulfill the kill, though, unfortunately. Neptune can. Would have been good to be able to keep him alive, especially when you're so close to the flag. You need some teammates. They have to commit themselves as a team here to make something happen rather than go for individual ones. That might just be the go sign. Ola comes in, tries to... I could see where he wanted to... It was just the wrong side.
He wanted to bank off some angle there, you know, maybe just hit the curve a little wrong. You know, like Pistol said, if he's going into a math test or whether he's playing a Halo game, he's not doing that calculation for long. He's just going to say, bank it here. Let's go.
Hey, look, if it had been a bit more to the right, he probably would have found its target. It would have been absolutely fantastic. Finding its target is exactly what Unlimited are going to do. They will capitalize in a big way. And all the situations that just transpire there now up 2-1. They're in the driving seat. The ball's in their court. And when they're up in the series 2-1, this could be the end of Incognito's run. All the pressure is on them now. How do you keep yourself composed? What do you do? Where do you go? If you want to win this, you don't just have to cap one now. That's only going to get the draw. You have to cap two. Nades down, spirals there. Two players maybe around the corner. Has to be aware of them. The basement is for real. Two players weak though. Where's his support? Of his teammates there? They are. They'll run it as well. And while they're doing, excuse me, no, it's on the opposing.
Unlimited, yeah.
Trippy's just saying no. Balls to this. Let's go. How's he alive? That's below the jump up as well. That could be a third flag.
What a crazy scenario as both these teams are putting pressure on both flags. So it's not like one team has all the slays in a setup. Instead, both teams are going for caps at the same time. And is this one going to get recovered? It looks like Renegade is going to recover that. But the opportunity was there. I think Trippy was, he must have gotten some sort of kill over at the opposing base and started to run that.
Flag bouncing is a real thing. You just got to make sure you don't drop it. This one looks like it's going in. We're all drawn up 2 apiece. This will go all the way down to the wire, and thankfully he just got it in as he gets smacked. Exploded into a billion pieces. The grenade launcher does the job, but not for long. His teammates are there to at least come back and answer. Hold fire for a second. Just grab the composure and wait until your teammates are on the map with you once again. At the moment, they're all in the grave dead zone. Nice little bit of a duck and weave. It does spell bad news. He stays alive. Quickscope's real. Finds the second one. Doesn't find the second one or the third for that matter, actually. Excuse me. Stand corrected. Nades are there. Good preemptive one. At least picks it up. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more than that to, like, land that nade perfectly at the bottom of Spiral like that and also get the trade and not just, you know, damage a player who had nearly full shield. Ola somehow scooping up a triple kill at the end there of that engagement. That's going to alleviate a lot of pressure off Neptune the squad, but Stellar still on the push despite Ola getting all those kills. Quite odd pressure too. You're used to like all this pressure coming from above, whether that's from landing or top center, but he's getting hit from landing, he's getting hit from someone from ring 2 or bomb center. That's got to be incredibly frustrating, and despite those racked up kills earlier, it looks like too many dropped from both sides. That's going to be Trippy putting in the third flag and getting his team up by 1 if they can secure it. And a nice little slow crouch walk from Eco to get that in.
That's cruel. He knew all these people, so he just crouch walks slow. In we go, job done. Still 2 minutes of regular play though, and they have to keep this one through and keep up the pressure that they've actually applied now. This is good. This looks good. This looks aggressive. It's just unrelenting and non-stop. We saw from Pistola's POV when he was just trying to take down one player, his teammates were falling simultaneously and they continue to just run the flag. You can hear the flags actually moving in the background as well. Who's got control of it and which way is it going to go? Anyone got the return yet? No, not yet. Eco's there though.
What a clutch. That's Ola kills with the smoke. Takes it slow once again. I also would love to see him push up towards top gold for a moment, but Ola says he needs to secure that flag cap because Renegade was not coming up top.
Dude, that is a hell of a clutch kill. That's a tournament lifeline kill. Just shooting through the smoke like that, especially when you're a shot down. Magic. Every single time the Wizard just turns up when you need him to do it most. 3 apiece then. 2 minutes exactly of regular play is left. What are you going to do? Where are we going to go? We run this flag. We start off the pole now. Goal bridge. One player, it's going to be Trippy. He's watching this one. Not much he can do. He's locked down. Damage will come from the back foot as well. Neptune, he's rotating round, trying to find the red team members that are actually on his side of the base. He will fall back. This player says, you know what? You take this. I'll take behind. He's got it. He's getting it in, and it has. And just as quickly as like that, 30 seconds. That's 2 flags in the back to back.
That's so huge for Incognito. It looked like this game was started off slow and had a few moments where it kind of got stalematey, or moments where I didn't really know you could fully drop through like the lift from that side. Is that kind of weird that reaches about this long and I didn't realize you could drop from like ring 2 to basement like that?
I mean, you can teach an old dog new tricks after all. The final thing
here's the thing is maybe you can't, because that's still not saying that I could still accomplish that feat. You can show a dog new trick. It's like, what, roll over or drop from ring 2 to ring 1? No, I can't do that.
If there's been a response, though, there's been an answer once again. Say, oh, that's huge. Where's this sniper and what's he going to do if he finds Saya? And that should be it. Job done. He comes from behind. All 4 of them are dead.
And the counter run going by Saiyan, moving this as fast as possible. Every member from Unlimited are going to have to take the fastest routes that they can to get in a position to recover this. And it's not looking good. Stellar desperately lifting over to try to get over the landing. They stop it. They get over a health pack. They get towards landing. They get the pull. And they are still alive in this game number 4.
Flag's actually moving here, and there's only 20 seconds left. This is insanity. This is overtime. This is just madness. Next cap wins regardless. And they're going to run it again, Dave.
He goes in position to start a double cap. Pistola's putting a stop to that, and Stellar is going to answer that kill as well. I would assume this flag is not going any further, and these teams are going to reset a little bit and go for slays, but a different flag is being pulled.
What the hell is happening here? He's looking down low. Someone throw this up. Both flags are actually out at the moment. They're from a home base. I don't even know where they are. They're both down bottom middle. They are moving. I'm just keeping an eye on the scoreline. I don't know who's going to back this one first if they're going to do it. This is chaos. This is absolute carnage right now. Players dying. Flags away from home. Where are they? What's going on? I have no idea.
It looks like Unlimited is in great position. They had 3 down for a moment from Incognito. They have flag almost all the way towards their landing, but that was a full scramble for the last 30 or so seconds. Flag down landing. Trippy was picked off. 1 player going towards front jump. And Neptune is one of the last surviving members near the flag. Eco trying to bring this in. This is going to knock Incognito out. They put this flag in, and that is it. Unlimited taking the series 3-1.
What an insane state of affairs towards the latter stages of that game.
And what a frustrating or chaotic ending, like you said, Sims.
That's bonkers.
That was so back and forth. They went from being this close to putting in the 5th and final flag to getting countered on within the last 20 seconds. And then after that, for the following 60 seconds, it was one flag out from both sides, one getting recovered, one getting ran again. There was no way to track that. It was just pure chaos. Neither team got a chance to like set up and run their game plan. Unlimited just mindlessly slayed, started moving the flag across, and got the job done.
It was multiple times. Pistola with 38 kills. Good lord. Tried and tried and tried the lad, but unfortunately, we'll be leaving the competition. The Wizard will be joining us up here on main stage. Nice +9 bomb as well. Yeah, that